Thanks, Caroline. One of the other documents released by the House Oversight Committee contained a photo of Jeffrey Epstein holding an oversized check that was made out to him in the check from the president for $22,000 for a fully depreciated woman. I wondered if the president has any recollection of that, or what you guys make of that photo that was included in those documents.
Did you see the signature on that check? It is not Donald Trump's signature. It is absolutely not. The president did not sign that check.
Well, that was both very defensive and very much a lie on its face. So as not to bury the lead here, let's take a look at the whole history of Trump's signatures. If you're going to claim that the signature at the top left doesn't look like literally every other signature on that page, then you are either a liar or an idiot. In the case of Karoline Leavitt, take your pick. I mean, I'm sorry, but I couldn't imagine that signature looking any more like this signature. I'm not sure what mental gymnastics you have to do to convince yourself otherwise, which exposes the con of the GOP, because even though this scheme is so blatantly transparent, you've still got the usual mouthpieces pretending, literally pretending, that what we can all see with our own eyes is somehow not real. Charlie Kirk wrote, "Does the below from the Wall Street Journal look like the actual signature from the president? I don't think so at all. Fake." Benny Johnson wrote, "The Wall Street Journal just released the letter they claim President Trump sent to Epstein. Is this really the best they could do? Trump has the most famous signature in the world. Time to sue them into oblivion." Again, if the goal is to convince us that these two images are not the same, then you're either lying to us or lying to yourself. Either way, not great. But things continue to devolve for Karoline Leavitt here.
What exactly is the hoax? I'm just trying to understand what's fake. What's fake is not the documents.
The hoax is the Democrats pretending to care about victims of crime when they do not care about victims of crime, when they have done nothing to solve crimes, when they have done nothing to lock up child pedophiles and child rapists across the country, and when they are now using victims as political props to try and, again, smear the President of the United States and drag on this bad story about him. It is a distraction. The Democrats view this story as nothing more than an attempt to distract from the accomplishments and the achievements of this administration. And that is what we mean when we call it a hoax.
First of all, it's always amazing watching these Trump whisperers translate what the president means when he descends into his rambling screeds. The fact that we need a whisper to translate the words of an almost 80-year-old man is already disqualifying unto itself. To be clear, Donald Trump did not mean that the hoax is that Democrats weren't adequately concerned about Epstein before. That doesn't make any sense, and it's clearly not what Trump meant. What Trump meant is that it reflects really, really poorly on him, and so it's not real. That's what that meant. And you don't have to take my word for it. Here is Trump quite literally admitting exactly that.
You said this was all a hoax. Has your attorney general told you this was a hoax? What evidence have you seen of that?
No, it's not the attorney general. No, I know it's a hoax. It's started by Democrats. It's been run by the Democrats for 4 years. You had Christopher Wray and these characters and Comey before him. And it's a bad group. It started, actually, look at the Steele dossier that turned out to be a total hoax. The 51 agents, the intelligence, so-called intelligence agents, it was a hoax. It's all been a big hoax. It's perpetrated by the Democrats. And some stupid Republicans and foolish Republicans fall into the net. And so they try and do the Democrats' work. The Democrats are good for nothing other than these hoaxes. They're bad for policy. They're bad for picking candidates that can get elected. Like in New York, we have a communist running. He may get elected too, actually, but he'll destroy the city. I call it the Epstein hoax. It takes a lot of time and effort. Instead of talking about the great achievements, we've had a great gentleman yesterday, as you know, went on CNBC and he made the statement that Trump may go down as the greatest president of all in the United States. And instead of talking about the things we've achieved, we've had tremendous achievement. They're wasting their time with a guy who obviously had some very serious problems, who died 3-4 years ago. I'd rather talk about the success we have with the economy, the best we've ever had, and all of the things we've done, including the Middle East. I mean, you see it. Instead, they want to talk about the Epstein hoax. And the sad part is it's people that are really doing the Democrats' work. They're stupid people.
So it's very nice of Karoline Leavitt to spin his very clear comments into something more convenient, but all the polish in the world is not going to fix that turd. The reality is that Donald Trump thinks his supporters are morons, and he wants to convince them that the thing he himself campaigned on isn't real because, again, if it is real, then its connection to him hurts him. He can't have that, and so he's in the process of convincing his base that it's all a figment of our imagination cooked up by those manipulative Democrats to hurt dear leader Donald Trump, even though this is what we saw on the campaign trail.
A lot of big people went to that island, but fortunately, I was not one of them.
It's just very strange for a lot of people that the list of clients that went to the island has not been made public.
Yeah, it's very interesting, isn't it? Probably will be, by the way. Probably.
So if you're able to, you'll be...
Yeah, I'd certainly take a look at it. Now, Kennedy's interesting because it's so many years ago. You know, they do that for danger, too, because, you know, endangers certain people, et cetera, et cetera. So Kennedy is very different from the Epstein thing. But, yeah, I'd be inclined to do the Epstein. I'd have no problem with it.
Bill Clinton.
Nice guy. Got a lot of problems coming up, in my opinion, with the famous island with Jeffrey Epstein.
You raised the question of Jeffrey Epstein in your remarks about in the Q&A.
Well, I think he's got a problem. I mean,
what do you think the problem will be?
I don't know, but that island was really a cesspool. There's no question about it. Just ask Prince Andrew. He'll tell you about it. The island was an absolute cesspool.
And worse yet, he also filled his cabinet with people who said the exact same thing.
Everybody in politics has a vice that's much worse than alcoholism, is the way that I put it. But we
release the list.
Seriously, we need to release the Epstein list. That is an important thing.
Why is the FBI protecting the greatest pederast, the largest scale pederast in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list.
Folks, please keep your eye on this case. I can't emphasize to you enough. This Epstein thing is there's more than meets the eye there. I know a lot of people want to make this thing go away. There is absolutely no way that the now CIA director, Catherine Rumler, and everyone else didn't know they were talking to a sex offender. The question is, why were they talking to him and what were they trying to make go away? Does it have anything to do with the extensive video network alleged to have existed on his island and on his plane?
So was it a hoax when Trump was talking about it to pander to voters? How about Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, Don Jr., J.D. Vance, Pam Bondi? They all can pretend that it's a hoax now because they've extracted the votes out of their rubes who trusted them and because their sole goal in life is to protect the God King, but all they're doing is torching their credibility and proving the lengths that they're willing to go to engage in a cover-up of a pedophile ring. The Republicans, led by Trump and amplified by people like Karoline Leavitt, are showing you exactly where their priorities lie. It's not with the victims, it's not with the truth, it is with the guy who committed unspeakable crimes and protecting the men who participated. Before you go, if you enjoyed this content and you want to see more and support independent media, please subscribe to this channel. The subscribe button will be right here on the screen. But second, the reality is that we are now in a political environment where this administration can lean on any of the social media platforms to suppress certain voices if they don't like critical coverage. That means my longevity here is in the hands of a few tech billionaires who are already making it clear that they are willing to cater to this administration. To that end, signing up for my newsletter is a way for me to reach you directly if that ever becomes necessary. I'll put the link right here on the screen as well, so please sign up. It's free, but there's also an option to do a paid subscription if you'd like to support me and my team. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much.